Hi everyone, Miss Johnston here with your Unit 11 vocabulary. The first word on your list is aggrandize. This is a verb. The definition for aggrandize is to increase in size or intensity, to enlarge or extend, or to make great or greater in power, wealth, rank, or honor. So to make something appear greater in some way. A lot of the times this has a negative connotation. This is where people make something seem greater than it is when it's actually not. So it's often associated with actions where people make themselves seem better or higher than they are, or make like things or places seem better than they are. So a good example sentence to go with our picture is the cat aggrandizes his image and believes he has the courage of a lion. Our second word is anomalous, which is an adjective. The definition for anomalous is inconsistent or deviating from what is normal. So something that is abnormal in some way is an anomalous thing. This has a negative connotation. A lot of times it's kind of the idea that something's off or not right. So for our example sentence, we have this pineapple is anomalous because it does not have a usual shape or amount of leaves. Number 3 is aspersion, which is a noun. The definition for aspersion is damaging or derogatory remarks or criticism. So this has a negative connotation. A good example sentence is whenever a celebrity does the slightest thing wrong, it can turn into a great aspersion by all of the media. Number 4 is circumvent, which is a verb. The definition for circumvent is to go around or to avoid. By being kind of crafty or kind of intelligent about something, by using your head. So when you circumvent something, you go around it. This has a neutral connotation because this can be used in positive ways or negative ways. Our picture in our sentence is more in a negative context. The embezzler circumvented the customs guards by sneaking in around the side of the post. Number 5 is estranged, which is an adjective. Our definition for estranged is going to be no longer close or affectionate to someone. This always will describe people. So it's basically describing someone who is no longer around, no longer close, you're no longer kind of seeing them. You see it a lot of the times with family members or something like that when you use this word, or friends. This has a negative connotation. The example sentence is, the girl became estranged from her friends after they all had a huge fight. Number 6 is filch, which is a verb. The definition for filch is to steal something secretly or casually. I know there was a word in your last unit where it was kind of stealing in a more serious way, like stealing cash from a cash register or something like that. To filch something is going to be something smaller, and you kind of take something secretly or casually in a much smaller way. So it still has a negative connotation, though, because you're filching something. You're just kind of taking it real quick, like in our picture. And for our example sentence, it says, Jared filched the blueberry muffin without anyone noticing. Number 7 is heathen, which can be a noun or an adjective. If it is being used as a noun, just like in our sentence, it's going to be describing a person who is irreligious, uncultured, or uncivilized. If it is being used as an adjective, it's just describing someone or their actions as heathen because they're uncivilized or uncultured. So for our example sentence, cavemen are often considered heathens because of their undeveloped ways, like killing animals with spears to get food for dinner. Number 8 is ignoble, which is an adjective. The definition for ignoble is not honorable in character or purpose. So this is someone who does not have a noble character. This has a negative connotation. And for our example, in Disney's Aladdin, Jafar is an ignoble character who tries to become sultan. Number 9 is insurgent, which can be an adjective or a noun. For the adjective, it is going to be rising in opposition to authority or being rebellious. So insurgent is a good synonym for rebellious as an adjective. For a noun, it is going to be a person who is rebelling. So someone can be called an insurgent if they are the person who is rebelling. So insurgent as a noun is a good synonym for the word rebel. This can be a negative or a positive connotation depending on the context. Sometimes it's good to be rebellious, sometimes it's going to be negative. So it depends on how you use it. For our example, the insurgent fish decided to swim in the opposite direction of everyone else. For number 10, we have jocund, which is an adjective. The definition for jocund is cheerful, merry, and lighthearted. So an easy way to remember this, because it's jocund, it's kind of like a joke, it's light and funny, or you're having a fun, light time. This has a positive connotation. You could say that these girls in the picture are cheerful and merry, so I used the adjective to describe those girls. The jocund girls chuckled as they read their favorite book. Number 11 is masochist, which is a noun. A masochist is someone who enjoys his or her own pain or suffering. So this has a negative connotation. And for our example, only a masochist would want to hit themselves on the head with a hammer. Number 12 is proclivity, which is a noun. The definition for proclivity is a natural inclination or tendency to do something. So you just kind of naturally are inclined to do it, or you naturally have a tendency to do something. This has a neutral connotation. For our example in the picture, I have a sentence that says, caribou have a proclivity to ram each other with their antlers when they are fighting. So the idea here is that they kind of naturally have this tendency to butt into the other person with their antlers, and that would be a proclivity that they have. Number 13 is rancor, which is a noun. The definition for rancor is bitter, resentment, or ill will, or hatred. So if you have rancor for someone, you probably develop some sort of hatred for them. Or if something is a rancor, it's something that is a bitter or kind of unpleasant, malicious situation. So this has a negative connotation. A rancor often develops when two people constantly disagree and can never see the same perspective. Number 14 is reticent, which is an adjective. The definition for reticent is not inclined to speak, or just reserved and reluctant. So this has a neutral connotation. It's not necessarily always a bad thing when someone doesn't want to speak. Maybe they're just a quiet person and they would be described as reticent. In other situations, you might see where someone is not inclined to speak and you think it's a negative thing, that they should be speaking. So that is a way in which you could use reticent where it's a negative situation. So for our example, picture and sentence, some toddlers are reticent when they are around new people, but are very talkative when they are around just their mom. Number 15 is scathing, which is an adjective. This is going to describe a remark or words that is bitterly severe. So really intense, really harsh words would be considered scathing words or scathing remarks. This has a negative connotation, and for our example, we have scathing remarks from an adult will often make a young child cry. Number 16 is soporific, which is an adjective. The definition for soporific is inducing drowsiness or sleep. So if something is soporific and induces drowsiness or sleep, it's bringing on drowsiness or sleep. It's kind of making you tired and making you yawn, then it would be a soporific thing. So this has a negative connotation. In Disney's Snow White, Sleepy the Dwarf was always in a soporific state, always very sleepy and drowsy. Or if you're in a situation where it's really boring, so you're getting tired, then that would be soporific as well. Number 17 is surreptitious, which is an adjective. If you're describing something as surreptitious, you're describing an action that is obtained or done by stealth or secret. So this is going to be actions that are done in secrecy or done in stealthy ways. This has a negative connotation in ways because we don't always want people to be sneaky like that. Sometimes they might be doing it for the greater good, but if it's obtained by sneaky, stealthy ways, we often think of it as negative. So for an example, a private investigator will take pictures in a surreptitious way in order to catch someone in the act. Number 18 is valor, which is a noun. The definition for valor is boldness, heroic courage, or bravery. So valor is really a synonym for boldness, determination, courage, and bravery. This one has a neutral connotation. Professions like firefighters and EMTs are ones that ask people to have a lot of valor. We definitely see this word in a positive way, though, that's for sure. Number 19 is vicarious, which is an adjective. If you're describing something as vicarious, you're experiencing something through your imagination, or experiencing something through the feelings and actions of another person. So when you are doing something vicariously, you are experiencing something that could be fun, exciting, or terrible, or anything like that. But it is through someone else. You're not directly experiencing the same exact thing. So this can be a positive or negative connotation depending on the context. A good example that I think you guys will get to help you understand how to use this word is sports fans have a vicarious experience when they attend a game because they enjoy the thrill but aren't on the field playing. So they might get really excited and stuff about a goal, but that is a vicarious part of the excitement because they didn't score that goal. The players on the field did. Number 20 is winsome, which is an adjective. The definition for winsome is sweetly or innocently charming. So something that is sweet and innocent would be described as winsome. This has a positive connotation. For our example, many parents want their kids to have a winsome childhood, free of problems or negative experiences. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed your Unit 11 vocabulary.